is how does implicit bias occur? Well, it starts with something called schemas or cognitive shortcuts. Every experience that we have, we store it in our mind. Sometimes it lays dormant for a long time, but sometimes we'll have an experience with someone of that same ethnic background, and we'll go to that schema. Then we will automatically associate traits with that person or with that experience. And those traits, we call them stereotypes. We start stereotyping people based on those cognitive shortcuts that we just had. I talked about stereotypes a bit ago. And what Chimamanda Adichie said about stereotypes is not that the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but they're incomplete. They make the one story become the only story. So when you have an experience with someone of a different race, a different ethnicity, gender, whatever the case may be, you formulate those traits about them and you start stereotyping. What you do in your mind is, so everyone who fits into that category must be the same way. So before we get to know someone, they fit in a category. So obviously everybody is the same way. So I'm gonna treat you the same way, when in fact you could be the nicest person on the earth. But because you're listening to these stereotypes, you start to, what the next point is, you start to form these feelings about them before you get to know them, or you prejudge them, which is prejudice. You prejudge them. You have these feelings about someone based on the experience you've had with someone who fits that same demographic. We've all had experiences like this, myself included. I'll show you pictures of different groups, and we will, in our minds, formulate opinions about them based on what we see. It's prejudging someone based on their appearance. So if you saw this picture, you would absolutely form opinions about them. If you saw this picture, you would absolutely form opinions about them. Or if you saw this picture, you may form opinions about this person or this person who comes from this ethnic background. Now, what we have here is prejudice. Right now is just feelings about someone. But when these feelings about someone turns into actions, then it becomes discrimination. And that's the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, or gender.